Stop. Breathe. Ask yourself, how many nights have you lost in overthinking? How many times did you replay the same worry in your mind, wondering if life will ever get better? But here's the truth: while you're drowning in doubts, Allah is already writing solutions you can't even imagine. The same Allah who split the sea for Musa, who protected Yunus in the belly of the whale, who gave Ibrahim safety in the fire, is the one watching over you right now. If He can do the impossible for them, what makes you think He can't do it for you? This is the power of faith. Yet many of us forget. Instead of sleeping peacefully, we toss and turn with heavy thoughts. Instead of trusting Allah, we place all the weight on our own shoulders, as if everything depends on us alone. And that's when overthinking takes control. It drains the soul, it steals the joy of today, and it blinds us from seeing the blessings that are already around us. But the beauty of faith is this: Allah doesn't ask you to know how everything will work out. He doesn't ask you to predict tomorrow or to carry the burden of every unanswered question. He only asks you to trust Him, the one who knows what you do not know, who sees what you cannot see, and who controls every outcome. When Musa stood before the Red Sea with an army chasing behind him, the people panicked. They overthought, they feared, they doubted. But Musa declared with full trust, "Indeed, my Lord is with me, He will guide me." And what happened? The sea split. The impossible became possible, not because of overthinking, not because of human strength, but because of Allah's power and mercy. In your life, the same truth applies. That job you're scared you won't get, that relationship you fear will never heal, that problem that feels bigger than you, Allah can change it in a moment. He has written your story from beginning to end, and no detail escapes His wisdom. Overthinking convinces us that solutions must be within our control. Faith teaches us that solutions are always within Allah's control. Overthinking makes us believe the storm will swallow us whole. Faith reminds us that Allah can calm any storm with a single command: be, and it is. The Prophet taught us reliance on Allah in a way that is both simple and profound. If you rely upon Allah with true reliance, He will provide for you as He provides for the birds. They leave in the morning hungry and return in the evening full. Notice, the birds don't stay in their nest paralyzed by overthinking. They take a step and Allah provides. So the next time your heart feels heavy, remember this: it is not your job to have all the answers. It is your job to trust the one who does. When you stop overthinking and start surrendering, you will see how Allah transforms fear into peace, hardship into ease, and impossibility into reality. Because He is the Lord of the impossible. And the moment you let go of your endless thoughts and place them in His hands, you will find that He was already preparing something better for you all along. Overthinking is like carrying a heavy stone in your heart everywhere you go. It doesn't solve tomorrow's problems, but it steals today's peace. You replay situations, imagine the worst outcomes, and ask endless what ifs. Instead of moving forward, you become trapped in your own thoughts, and slowly your heart grows weaker, filled with fear, doubt, and restlessness. But Allah gave us a cure for this weakness: Tawakkul, complete trust in Him. Tawakkul doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing your best and then leaving the outcome to Allah. It means believing with certainty that whatever He wills is always for your good, even if at first it doesn't feel like it. The Quran reminds us, and whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him. So 65:3. This is not just a verse to be recited, it is a promise to live by. If Allah is sufficient, then no amount of overthinking can add anything to what He has already written for you. Think of it this way: overthinking is rooted in fear of the unknown, while tawakkul is rooted in trust of the known. You don't know what tomorrow holds, but you know the one who holds tomorrow. That knowledge is enough to replace fear with peace. Look at the lives of the prophets. They faced situations far heavier than ours, yet their hearts were firm. Why? Because they trusted Allah fully. When Prophet Ibrahim's was thrown into the fire, he didn't overthink about the flames. He relied on Allah. And Allah made the fire cool and safe for him. That's the power of tawakkul. In your life, the same principle applies. You may not be facing a fire, but you may be facing trials that burn your heart with worry. Financial struggles, broken relationships, uncertain futures. Overthinking makes the fire feel hotter, but tawakkul cools it down, reminding you that Allah is always in control. So the next time your thoughts spiral, pause and ask, am I feeding my fears or my faith? Because overthinking weakens, but tawakkul strengthens. And when your heart leans on Allah, you'll find a calmness that no worry can shake. One of the main reasons we overthink is because we don't know what's coming. We worry about tomorrow's job interview, an exam result, a relationship, or even how we will survive our struggles. The unknown terrifies us. But here's the truth. What is unknown to you is already known to Allah. He is Al-Alim, the all-knowing. Nothing escapes His knowledge. When you sit awake at night playing every possible scenario in your mind, remember Allah already wrote your story before you were even born. Every success, every delay, every tear, every joy, it's all part of His perfect plan. Overthinking won't change what He has written, it only exhausts you. The Quran says, "Indeed, Allah knows what is in the heavens and the earth, and Allah is knowing of all things." Surah 49 then 6. That includes your past, present and future. Even before you make a choice, Allah knows the outcome of that choice and how it will shape your life. Think about the peace this brings while you're stressing about the what ifs. Allah already knows the what is. And not only does He know, but His plan is always rooted in wisdom and mercy. What looks like a setback to you may actually be protection. What looks like a closed door may be a redirection to something better. Take the story of Yusuf as. When he was thrown into a well by his brothers, it seemed like the end. If we were in his position, we would have overthought endlessly. Why is this happening to me? How will I survive? But Allah already knew the outcome. He was preparing Yusuf's ace for a greater destiny. The well was not the end, it was the beginning of his journey to power, wisdom, and honor. In your life, the same lesson applies. You don't need to know every detail of tomorrow, because the one who loves you most already does. Your task is not to control the outcome, but to trust the one who controls it. So whenever your thoughts spiral into fear, remind yourself, Allah already knows the ending, and His ending is always better than what I imagine. This shift will free your heart from endless overthinking and fill it with hope. When life gets heavy, our first thought is often, why me? Why this pain? We overthink, replaying our struggles in our minds, wishing things were different. But what we often fail to see is that trials are not punishments. They are pathways to miracles. Allah sometimes takes you through hardship not to break you, but to bless you in ways you never expected. The Quran reminds us, indeed, with hardship comes ease. 9:4-6. Notice, ease is not after hardship, but with it. That means even in the darkest moments of your life, Allah is planting the seeds of relief. The trial you're facing is not the end, it's the bridge leading to something better. Think of Musa standing at the Red Sea. To him and his people, it looked like the worst possible situation, a vast sea in front of them, and an army behind them. Overthinking could have led to despair, but Allah turned that trial into one of the greatest miracles ever witnessed. The sea split, and the impossible became possible. Your struggles may not be as dramatic, but they carry the same truth. The job you lost may open the door to a better opportunity. The heartbreak you suffered may be Allah's way of removing someone harmful from your life. The delay in your plans may be Allah's way of aligning you with a greater blessing. Overthinking blinds you to this possibility. It makes the trial feel like a wall when in reality it's a doorway. With Tawakkul, you begin to see that your pain has a purpose. It is shaping you, purifying you, and bringing you closer to Allah. Yunus found himself in the belly of a whale, a place that looked like pure despair. But it was in that trial that he made one of the most powerful du'as in history. There is no deity except you, glory be to you. Indeed, I have been of the wrongdoers. The 2187. And Allah answered his dua, delivering him to safety. That trial became the stage for his miracle. So the next time you feel crushed under life's weight, remind yourself, this trial may be the start of my miracle. Trust Allah's wisdom, for every difficulty is carrying with it the seeds of ease, waiting for the moment Allah wills it to bloom. Overthinking is like standing in front of a locked door with the key in your hand but never using it. You keep staring, worrying, and imagining what's behind it, but you never actually turn the key. That key is dua. Yet when the heart is drowning in endless thoughts, fears, and doubts, it often forgets to make sincere dua, the very action that opens the doors we think are closed forever. The Prophet said, dua is the essence of worship. It is the believer's strongest weapon, but overthinking clouds our vision. Instead of raising our hands to Allah with certainty, we replay the problem in our mind 100 times. We worry about how things will happen, forgetting that Allah is the one who makes all things happen. Imagine you're facing a challenge, maybe financial hardship, a broken relationship, or a health struggle. Overthinking makes you ask, what if it never works out? What if I fail? What if I can't handle it? But trust in Allah changes those questions into, what if Allah opens a better door? What if this trial is His way of guiding me to something greater? The difference is profound. Overthinking feeds fear, trust feeds hope. Overthinking closes your heart, dua opens it to the mercy of Allah. Look at the story of Zacharias as. He and his wife were old, far past the age of having children. Logic would say it was impossible. Overthinking would have told him to give up, but instead he turned to Allah with sincere dua, and Allah granted him Yahya as, a miracle child. His trust, not his doubts, opened the door to blessings. In our own lives, the same principle applies. The more we dwell on what if, the less we turn to Allah with lie, rab. But when we stop overthinking and place our worries in dua, Allah responds in ways far beyond what we imagined. So the next time you feel stuck in endless thoughts, remember overthinking builds walls, but trust tears them down. Dua is the bridge between your heart and Allah's mercy. And when you walk that bridge with certainty, doors you thought were forever closed will suddenly open. One of the hardest truths to accept is that things don't always happen when we want them to. We pray, we plan, and we hope for quick results. But then comes the waiting, and in that waiting, overthinking creeps in. Why hasn't it happened yet? Did Allah forget me? Am I not worthy? But the reality is this: Allah's timing is always perfect. He delays not to deny, but to prepare. The Quran reminds us, indeed, Allah does not wrong the people at all, but it is the people who wrong themselves. Zatan 4:4. Every delay has wisdom, every pause has a purpose. What feels like silence from Allah is often Him rearranging your life for something greater than you can imagine. Think of Yusuf as. He spent years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. To anyone watching, it seemed like wasted time. But in truth, it was divine timing. That prison became the pathway to his rise as a leader, where he saved an entire nation. The delay was not punishment, it was preparation. In your own life, the same is true. The job that didn't work out may be because Allah is saving you for a better opportunity. The relationship that ended may be because He's protecting your heart from future pain. The dua that hasn't been answered yet may be because He's writing for you something even better than what you asked. Overthinking makes us impatient. It tricks us into believing that delay means denial. But faith teaches us to trust the timing of the one who knows the unseen. Allah is never late, nor is He ever early. He is always on time, His time, not ours. The Prophet said, know that victory comes with patience, relief with affliction, and ease with hardship. This hadith reminds us that every delay is part of a divine process leading to relief, victory, and ease. So the next time you feel restless in waiting, remind yourself Allah is never withholding without reason. He is protecting you, shaping you, and preparing you. His timing is flawless, even when it feels slow to you. And when His decree finally arrives, you'll realize it came at the exact moment you needed it most. At the end of the day, overthinking is nothing more than a battle between your doubts and your faith. Your mind whispers, what if? But your heart should answer, Allah is enough for me. No matter how impossible your situation looks, no matter how long the wait feels, Allah is the one who parts seas, brings light out of darkness, and turns tears into triumphs. Every closed door is only a sign that a better one is about to open. Every delay is not rejection, it's protection. And every hardship you face is not a punishment, it's preparation for something far greater than you can imagine. So, let today be the day you silence your doubts and strengthen your faith. Stop replaying the what ifs in your head and start believing in the what is written by Allah. Because His plan is always better, His timing is always perfect, and His power has no limits. When you stop overthinking and surrender fully, you will finally feel the peace that comes from trusting Allah completely. And when that happens, you'll witness with your own eyes. Allah can and will do the impossible for you. So breathe, trust, and walk forward with certainty. The one who holds the universe also holds your life in His hands. And He will never let you down.